So what do you do when you see a video of someone in absolute agony from one of the world's most painful insect stings? Well, if you're like most of us, you probably think, yeah, I'm never going anywhere near one of those. But for one YouTuber, the reaction was a little different. He decided he had to have one as a pet. So let's get into this wild story about a quest to own one of the most notoriously dangerous insects out there. Right off the bat, we're dealing with some serious folklore. I mean, the name cow killer is just designed to make you shiver, isn't it? Now look, is it actually going to take down a full-grown cow? Highly unlikely. But its reputation for having an excruciatingly painful sting? Oh yeah, that part is 100% real. This whole insane journey starts, like so many do these days, right on YouTube. Our guy is watching that famous video of Coyote Peterson taking a sting from this exact insect and just writhing in pain. And his big takeaway from that was, I want one. And with that beautifully ominous thought, he clicks Add to Cart. It's incredible, right? He knows the risks. He has literally seen the worst-case scenario on video. But nope, the decision is made, the adventure is on, and a very, very dangerous package is officially on its way. Okay, so obviously you can't just put an insect with a world-class sting in an old shoebox. It needed a proper home, a palace even. And since cow killers are desert insects, the mission was to build a perfect, multi-layered miniature desert ecosystem from the ground up. A tiny little kingdom for a tiny, terrifying queen. And believe me, building this thing was a whole process. It wasn't just throwing sand in a tank. Every single layer here had a job. It started with these cool canyon rocks for structure, all kind of glued together with excavator clay. Then underneath that, a layer of carbon rocks to keep moisture in check and stop mold. After that, a rich mix of sand and soil for the plants, and then the final touch, a top layer of pure sand to get that perfect desert vibe. You know, creating that authentic desert look, it's not exactly cheap. For instance, those super realistic canyon rocks, let's just say they cost a small fortune. It's a detail our narrator hilariously admits is a topic that we don't talk about. Just goes to show, even the most dangerous hobbies have some hidden costs. And the attention to detail here was just awesome. It wasn't just about the base layers. It was about creating a whole world for this thing to explore. You've got spiderwood forming little bridges, sticks that look like roots, and chala wood logs for natural hiding spots. He even threw in a toy scorpion for a little dramatic flair, and some live succulents from Home Depot to really make it feel alive. So before the star of the show arrived, he had to bring in the opening acts. First, thousands of tiny springtails were added to be the cleanup crew. Their whole job is to eat any mold that might grow. Then came the mealworms. They were partly there as a potential snack, but mostly as a test, to see how the new predator in town would react to having neighbors. With the Desert Kingdom complete, the big moment is finally here. The package, the one containing one of the most feared insects in North America, has been delivered. But, as you might guess, the unboxing had a few surprises of its own. The very first surprise is the label on the box. For a package that has a creature known for its agonizing sting inside, the box is very curiously, and probably very illegally, marked live fish. Yeah, it's just a bizarre, funny little detail in what's otherwise a pretty high-stakes delivery. And right as he's getting ready to open it, you can see the reality of the situation just hit him all over again. He flashes back to that Coyote Peterson video, which is a very real, very stark reminder of the incredible pain he is just one tiny mistake away from feeling. So what kind of high-tech, super secure vault does a terrifying cow killer get shipped in? Well, not exactly that. It came in a simple, clear plastic tub with a crumpled-up paper towel inside. That's it. A pretty humble ride for such a notorious little creature. After being very, very carefully released into its new kingdom, it was time for the first meal. And this is where our narrator was about to learn that what Google tells you and what a cow killer actually does can be two very different things. So his research said it would probably eat nectar, maybe other insects. But when he offered it a live mealworm, the cow killer showed literally zero interest, just walked right past it. But then, when he put in some of this sugary insect jelly, which is basically just a nectar substitute, it latched on and just ate for 20 minutes straight. So there you have it. The first big discovery is made. Despite its terrifying reputation as a killer, this particular cow killer has a massive sweet tooth. It seems like it would much rather have a pure sugar rush than a protein-packed meal. Okay, and now for the moment of truth.
After all the research, all the building, and all the observation, the narrator decides that to truly connect with his new pet, he has to face his fear head on. He's going to let the notoriously painful insect crawl directly on his bare skin.
And to document this incredibly risky move, who does he get to film? His mom, of course. And her reaction when she heard the plan was simple, it was logical, and it was exactly what you'd expect. That sounds like a really bad idea. Yeah, thanks, Mom. Everything has been leading up to this single moment. As the cow killer touches his skin, there is only one question in the entire world that matters. Will it sting? The goal was to just endure it for 1 full minute, 60 seconds. Now, that doesn't sound like a long time, but can you imagine when every single one of those seconds carries the potential for world-class, agonizing pain? It must have felt like an eternity. And he does it. The minute passes and there's no sting. The insect is safely back in its home, and you can just feel the narrator's relief. It's overwhelming. He says his heart was pounding out of his chest, like 200 beats a second, from the pure stress of it all. So, the trial is over. With no harm done, the relationship between man and insect has totally entered a new phase. A line has been crossed, a fear has been conquered. But what comes next? The mission is declared a success. He is now officially bonded with his pet. And in honor of its absolutely fearsome reputation, a reputation it chose not to live up to this time, he gives it its proper name, the cow killer. And that brings us to the final and kind of crazy question that the narrator posed in his own video. He survived this encounter, sure, but he left his audience with a challenge. Should he take the next step and intentionally get stung? It's a question that goes way past simple pet ownership and straight into the world of internet dares. And it makes you wonder, in this world of online content, just how far does curiosity actually go?